Welcome back to Horsing Around. We've been on a little bit of a break. We've been a little busy. I was still in basketball season. We had a lot of games coming up, conference championships. So that's kind of what we're starting out with today. We'll get into some March Madness a little bit later for D1, but I wanted to give a little shout out to our D3 hoops. Kind of shout out to my team at W&J, boys, both men's and women's. We both won our conference championship in the President's Athletic Conference. First time, I think, for the men since like 1996, 7 maybe, I think. And for the women since 2006. So it's been 16 years for us, at least. We've been to the championship the last 5 years, I think, and we fell through every time. But this year was not it. We hosted at home, both men's and women's. So it was an exciting last few weeks. So that's kind of why Josh and I haven't really been here. But a lot else has been happening, especially in D1 college basketball. March Madness is starting. But yeah, I want to give a little shout out to my team and my coach. My coach got Coach of the Year in the conference. That's exciting. One of my awesome teammates, her name is V. Well, we call her V. Her name is Victoria. She got Defensive Player of the Year, which is awesome. And then 3 of our other players got second team All Conference, which is even better. For the men's team, I'm pretty sure there were 2 guys who got first team All Conference. The men's coach also got Coach of the Year, which is amazing. So congrats to them. And yeah, I think we finished 25-4. Both teams, I think, for our record, which is really good. And my coach is really close to the 500th win. I think she'll be able to get that this year. So yeah, just little Lean's lookout for the day, giving my teams some shout outs. So we'll get into some March Madness. Josh?
Okay. Let's see here. Welcome in, everybody. As Leah just said, okay, it's the March. Let there be madness. Madness has already started. Teams have already been in and out. Okay, who's heard of some schools that's already been in the Big South? I haven't heard of that school, to be honest with you, but they're in the tournament. IUPUI, the Jaguars, for the first time, are in the tournament. Murray State looks as good as they did with Ja Morant. They're also in with the Racers. It's going to be a nice little March Madness kind of feel here. I don't know about you, but my bracket may be busted in the first week. How even the boys' brackets are this year.
Yeah, like I've been saying, like all season, I really feel like it's anyone's game this year. It could be anyone. I really feel like there's gonna be some Cinderella team that's gonna go pretty far. Not gonna lie. I mean, we've seen so much change and upset this year in the 21-22 season for a lot of teams and just in D1 basketball in general. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this year's March Madness.
For sure. So let's kind of go over the Cinderellas of this tournament. So who do you have as one of those teams that can just make it into a deep run?
So for me, I was kind of looking through, see who's gonna go. I really think North Texas from last year, especially, they had a really great team last year. I think there were some kids that graduated or they transferred, but they were able to get a whole new group of guys in there, and I think they're even better than they were last year because they were able to beat Purdue last year, and I don't think they're. I think they're on a 14 win streak. So they're doing pretty good, and I think that this team might go pretty far. I think they could be a great Cinderella team.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. They haven't been officially in the tournament, but if they get in, I could say Indiana Hoosiers maybe a surprise Bayheim kind of thing here with a new coach with
Yeah,
Mike Woodson in the helm. I could see the Hoosiers making a decent run they, don't correct me if I'm wrong, upset Illinois, who is absolute roll beaters. So,
Mhm.
and Purdue. So,
Yep. Oh, I actually just looked up North Texas. They're actually playing right now against the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, and they're in the second half, 4 minutes to go, and it's 35-29, Louisiana Tech. They're number 3, and North Texas is number 1. So we might even see an upset right here.
we may see an upset right here. Absolutely.
Yeah, they may not even get there.
Absolutely. It may not get there.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
I guess we'll see. Oh, I'm going to keep an eye on this game. 4 minutes left. Might have to take off
4 minutes.
the Cinderella team.
Right. You may
Yeah.
have to take it off,
Mhm.
Elena. But let's see here. Right now, if you're looking for upsets on Joe Lardy's board, looking Arkansas versus the Catamounts of Vermont. I think that's a nice little 14 matchup that you could kind of be looking at. But we don't know what it's going to be picked on Selection Sunday. So we'll know
Right.
a little bit more next week before we do with our brackets and stuff like that when we go over it. But some teams that could get the bug of getting upset, one of the bigger teams, I would say even my bowlers, Purdue is probably, to me, the number one team that could get upset. Because if you stop Jalen
Purdue, you
Ivy,
said?
you pretty much Purdue. I said, yeah. If you stop
Mhm.
Jalen Ivy, you can pretty much kiss it goodbye if you're a Boilermakers fan.
Yeah, I can agree.
But with Paige, let's go to the women's game for a second here. With Paige Beckers coming back, do you think UConn is just that much danger as a third and fourth seed? And if a first Paige Beckers was playing the whole year?
I wish they were playing better, especially with Paige back. I think they're in a little bit of a not like I'm not gonna say that they're in a little bit of a pickle, but I think they're still trying to adjust with her being not back, with her being there and then hurt, and then so trying to adjust without her, and now trying to adjust again with her. Especially at this point in the season, I think that it's kind of like up in the air about how great they could be in the tournament. I mean, obviously she's going to be a great asset for them, but the way that they're going to play with her now maybe different than how they were going to play with her before. I hope they go far because I love Paige, love the way she plays, but I think I'm a little iffy about how they're playing this year.
Right. It's a young team, though. Very young. The bigger stars are freshers. I think as long as they click in the tournament, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
But going back to the men's tournament in March, which mid-major school do you think will do or go to Final Four this year?
Oh, well, I think a game the other day it was the SoCon championship. I'm pretty sure with Chattanooga. I think because I mean
Mm-hmm.
it's already madness. They won on a buzzer beater, so I feel like they could be going in there as a mid-major team, going in with a lot of confidence. especially winning against
For sure,
Furman
absolutely.
with that.
Well, Elena, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to go to the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I think they're going to make a Final Four run again. Since they're in the West Conference, you can still call them a mid-major. But I'm going to go Gonzaga.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Can't forget about Loyola, our favorite. We love
Loyola Chicago, for sure.
Yeah. I love watching them
For
play.
sure.
No matter what. I always look forward to seeing them in the tournament if they make it.
Right now, 10 seed, so I think they're in perfect spot. Let's see how they get drawn during Selection Sunday. But that Sister G magic, let's see if it continues. But Sister G still kicking?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is Sister G still kicking?
I don't know. I think, sorry, it was just lapsed. I don't know. I think she is.
For sure.
Yeah, I think so. She is.
But Ramblers, do you or again will be and see only back in this year, different coach, but same result in Missouri Valley. The Ramblers have pretty much dominated that conference for years at this point in time. But yeah, so
Sorry, I think I'm trying to fix my sound. It's
do you
lagging a
think
little bit.
UConn? I know it's lagging a little bit, but do you think UConn's men's team is going to? How far do you think they're going to make it this year?
I don't know. I mean, I know they just lost to Creighton by 2, I think. And I mean, being a big school like that, you don't want to have losses like that right before the March Madness, like right before the tournament. You don't want that. So I think they fell out of third. I think they were in third. And after that loss, it's not looking good. So hopefully, I hope that they can go a little farther. But I don't. I hope that this loss doesn't affect them mentally about how well they think they can play in the tournament because they lost to Creighton. So I think, or maybe it'll be a little wake up call and be like, hey guys, like we got to start playing now. We got to go to the tournament if we're going to make it. So I'm hoping that they can go pretty far, but I think that's going to depend on how mentally prepared they are.
Absolutely. So, what's the aspect of teams that you just think they have it? Do you think Gonzaga is one of those teams that should be in the Final Four? Do you think the Zags get over the hump this year?
I think they could. I think they've had a good enough season to definitely think that they can get there. They have been beating teams, I mean, 10, 15, 9 points. So they have a little bit of a good margin with how they've been playing, but they're also a number one team. Like if you're a number one team, you got to play with a chip on your shoulders because everyone's coming after you. And the people that aren't, like if they're going to play a 14 seed or something, the 14 seed really has nothing to lose. But being a number one, you want to stay number one. So you kind of have that almost like nervousness going into games,
Right.
just hoping that you don't fall through. And I don't think Gonzaga will. I think they are a team that has a lot of confidence in themselves. I just hope that they're able to keep this grind going through the tournament.
For sure, absolutely. Okay, for Notre Dame, for the men's team, do you think there's in the conference for ACC? Because currently they're up, and Joe
I'm
Lombardi's
sorry, I
bracket.
forgot to ask you guys. My computer is lagging again. Can you repeat?
So currently, they're 11 in the tournament. So what do you think that's too high currently for the Irish?
To be ranked second?
So I'm looking at the bracketology right now, and they're ranked 11th
Oh,
overall, like 11th seed. So do you think that's too low for Nerd to be 11th seed, being second in the ACC this year?
hmm. I think probably right now maybe because they did lose to Virginia Tech yesterday in the ACC tournament. So
Right.
that kind of, I mean, 11, they've been a good team all season, so 11's really not that bad. But being a number 2 team in the ACC and losing to Virginia Tech, which is a 7th seed in ACC, and like losing by 7 too. I mean,
Right.
it's not really a good look right now. You want to be playing best basketball right now, and you want to stay in the seeds that you're in. But losing to higher seeds like this, it's not looking good. It's not something you want to be doing right now.
No, not at all. But Elena, with our last call, who is your final four before we do our selection show Monday or Tuesday? Who's the final four right now? If you had to look at the brackets and each of Joe brackets kind of sections here. So who's your final four?
Oh my gosh. I've been looking, and after people have been losing, all these teams are losing. I don't know. I've been very confused, and I've been contemplating on who I want to be in there. I do think Gonzaga. I do think they can get that far if they want to, if they keep working for it. I'm pretty sure, but I do think they could get that far. Kansas has also been playing very well.
Right.
I think they could get. I think they could get there if they wanted to. And who else do I want to put there? I don't know if I want to put Purdue there. I'm hoping that they don't play against a mid-major team and lose again like last year. But maybe even Texas. Texas has been pretty good this year.
Right.
And might throw a little
For sure.
curveball to Michigan. Michigan might be, if they get there, if any of these teams get there in Selection Sunday, or if they win their conference championship, I'm hoping that they can possibly be there.
Okay. Okay.
Who are yours?
Men's or women's? Because Michigan lost
Those are
to
men's.
Michigan lost to IU yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine's are Wisconsin. Okay. Uh, even though they're in the same bracket as Gonzaga. Uh, um, I'm gonna go Villanova. Loyola of Chicago, and Auburn
Mm, Auburn's a good one. I can see that happening.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See, Villanova, I kind of picked them because they're a third seed. They've been kind of iffy, but they still have the recipe that they had when they won all those championships. A good guard, nice in and out play, great defense, great coach. Uh, right now, they're in a kind of, and I don't know, weak bracket, but they're not in a strong bracket so far where he
Right.
has it. Where Baylor can be wishy washy at times. LSU, eh, Ohio State. I mean, Longwood could upset them, but I don't see the logic behind it. Kentucky lost to Notre Dame earlier in the year,
Mhm.
uh, but you got Memphis, the Penny in the East, and the Philly bracket so far. If the brackets kind of stay similar, I could see Villanova making a huge run in that. Uh, but you also got Illinois, but they just lost to Indiana today, so they're beatable. Um, I would say the winner in that bracket's probably Villanova or Illinois so far. Baylor just had a magical season last year. I don't think it happens this year, even though they're one of the best teams in the country. But yeah, so that's my Final Four so far. Looking
Nice.
at it,
Nice.
yeah,
Like to
for
see it.
sure, for
I'm
sure.
checking on this North Texas game again. 40-36. Louisiana Tech with 13 seconds to go. We
For
might have
sure.
another upset.
Might have another upset,
Hmm.
Lana. But go check that game out and go subscribe down below for us here at Regan's Corner. We're going to have another show either Sunday night or Monday talking about all the selections and stuff like that when we have our brackets. And plus, we're going to even fill it out here on Regan's Corner for you guys. And Lena, get back to the ending here. I'm going to let you end this off in the right way.
All right. Well, thank you all for taking another little ride with us at Horsing Around here. And like he said, we will be back Sunday or Monday talking about Selection Sunday and filling out the brackets. Hopefully, our predictions are going to be correct. We're going to see some upsets. I already know, and we're going to be upset about our brackets probably. But I'm excited to see which mid-major teams are going to be in and cause these upsets this year.
For sure.
And we'll see
Absolutely.
y'all later.
See you all later.